Have you ever kept doing something long after you knew you should have stopped finishing a boring movie just because you already spent an hour on it? Staying in a job that drains you because you've already invested so many years? Holding on to a relationship simply because it's familiar, even if it's no longer right? Or pouring more money into a failing project because you've already poured in so much? There's a strange force inside us that makes this feel logical. A whisper that says, "Don't quit now. Don't waste what you've already spent." But that whisper isn't wisdom. It's a psychological trap. It's called the sunk cost fallacy, the powerful illusion that keeps us tied to the past at the expense of our future. Today we're going to explore why this fallacy exists, why it's so convincing, how it shows up everywhere in life, and most importantly, how to break free from it. No jargon, no heavy economics, just clear, simple psychology that helps you stop throwing good after bad. Let's begin. Have you ever held on to something long after you should have let it go? A project that isn't working, a relationship that isn't growing, a job that drains you, a hobby you don't enjoy anymore, a subscription you never use, a movie you don't even like but you keep watching because you already sat through half of it. The strange truth is this: we often keep investing in things that no longer make sense, simply because we've already invested in them. Money, time, effort, emotion, years of our lives. Letting go feels like losing all of that. But holding on, that can cost even more. This is the sunk cost fallacy, a powerful trap that makes people, companies, and even governments pour more good resources into bad decisions. And once you understand how it works, you start seeing it everywhere. Let's begin. What the sunk cost fallacy is. The sunk cost fallacy is simple to describe, but hard to notice in your own life. It's the tendency to continue something just because you've already spent resources on it, even when quitting would be the smarter choice. You stay because of the past, not because of the future. You say things like, "I've already invested so much. If I quit now, all of this would be wasted. I can't stop after coming this far. Maybe it'll turn around soon." But the core idea is this: sunk costs, the money, time, and energy you've already spent, are gone forever. You can't get them back. And they should not influence your next decision. Only future benefits and future costs matter. But your brain doesn't like that. Your brain hates waste. So it tricks you into throwing even more into something that no longer deserves it. Why the brain falls for this trap? To understand the sunk cost fallacy, you need to understand the psychology behind it. Your brain is wired to avoid loss. Losing a resource hurts far more than gaining the same amount feels good. This is called loss aversion, and it makes you cling to things long after they've stopped being worthwhile. Your brain also wants to protect your ego. If you quit, you might feel wrong, embarrassed, or foolish. You might feel like you wasted your time or made a bad choice. So instead of facing that emotional discomfort, your mind says, "Keep going, don't let it be for nothing." But here's the truth: continuing doesn't undo the past, it only makes the cost bigger. Examples you'll instantly recognize. Let's walk through everyday examples, the kind where almost everyone has been caught in this trap. 1. Finishing a bad movie. You start a movie and it's awful, but you keep watching because you already spent an hour. Even though stopping would save more time, you continue to avoid feeling like that hour was wasted. 2. Staying in a relationship that isn't working. You've invested years, so you stay. Even if both people have changed. Even if you're unhappy. Even if the future looks nothing like the past you're holding on to. 3. Sticking with a job you don't like. You've built your career around it. You've worked so hard to get here. You've already come too far to change. So you stay, even when staying costs you far more than leaving. 4. Pouring more money into a losing investment. A business idea isn't working, but you keep investing because you don't want to waste the money already spent. 5. Massive government projects. History is full of governments pouring billions into failing projects because they already poured billions before. Human beings hate letting go, even when letting go is the smartest thing they could do. The key insight: the past doesn't matter. This is the heart of the sunk cost fallacy. The money you spent gone. The time you invested gone. The energy, the emotion, the effort already spent. Nothing you do now can bring any of it back. So the real question becomes, if I were making this decision for the first time today, would I choose this? If the answer is no, the sunk cost is controlling you. A rational decision is based only on future value, not past investment. The future is the only thing still in your control. Why it's so hard to walk away? Letting go feels like admitting defeat. It feels like confessing that your past decisions were wrong. It feels like losing everything you've invested. But think about it from another angle. Walking away doesn't erase what you've learned. It doesn't erase the growth you gained. It doesn't erase the experience. You already paid the price. You don't need to keep paying it. Your brain tries to protect you from the pain of loss, but in trying to protect you, it makes you lose even more. Signs you're stuck in the sunk cost fallacy. You might be in this trap if you catch yourself thinking any of these. I've put too much into this to stop now. If I quit, everything I did before will be wasted. It would feel wrong to walk away. I just need to push a little more, it might work soon. If I stop now, people will think I failed. Or this one. If I could go back in time, I wouldn't start this. But I've already started, so I should finish. This is the perfect sign that the past is driving your future. How to escape the sunk cost fallacy? You can escape the trap, but it requires honesty, clarity, and courage. Here are the most powerful strategies. Ask the restart question. If I had none of the past invested, would I choose this today? If the answer is no, the sunk cost is leading the decision. 2. Focus on future gains, not past losses. Your future is worth far more than your history. 3. Separate emotion from logic. It's okay to feel disappointed about the past, but don't let that disappointment dictate your future. 4. Set boundaries. Give yourself limits. I'll invest this much more time or money and no more. If the project doesn't improve, you walk away. 5. Accept small losses to avoid bigger ones. This is the most difficult step. Letting go feels painful, but sometimes a small loss today prevents a much larger loss tomorrow. Quitting isn't failure. Quitting can be wisdom. The moment everything changes, the moment you understand sunk costs, something shifts. You stop forcing yourself to stay in situations that no longer serve you. You stop feeling guilty about walking away. You stop letting the fear of wasted time trap you into wasting even more. You start making decisions based on what benefits your future, not what justifies your past. And with that shift, you begin to reclaim your time, your energy, your choices, and your life. Final insight: the sunk cost fallacy ties you to the past. But your life is lived in the future. You don't owe anything to your past self. You don't have to keep paying for decisions that no longer make sense. You can choose again. You can start again. You can walk away. The smartest decision isn't always to continue. Sometimes the smartest decision is knowing when to stop. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay thoughtful, stay aware, and remember, don't throw good after bad. The sunk cost fallacy is one of the most human traps we fall into. It convinces us that quitting is failure, that letting go is wasteful, and that continuing, no matter the cost, somehow protects our past decisions. But the truth is gentler. You don't owe your past anything. You owe your future everything. Every moment you choose to stay stuck is another moment you don't get back. And every time you free yourself from a dead weight, you make space for something better to grow. Letting go isn't losing. Letting go is choosing. So if something no longer serves you, doesn't grow you, or doesn't align with the life you want, you're allowed to stop. You're allowed to change direction. You're allowed to start again. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay wise, stay aware, and remember, your next decision matters far more than the ones behind you.